Yeah, that last one was pretty long, huh? Don't worry, these next two are gonna be pretty quick. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Station. This is for anything and everything animation. Welcome back to Phantom February 2. Welcome to my review of Secret Weapons. After the massive conglomerate that was Ultimate Enemy, now we are finally back to normal 22-minute long episodes for the next. Let me see. For the next 6 reviews. So, it's not going to be until the 7th review following the last one that we'll have to do another giant 2-parter. So, good news is we're back to normal 22-minute reviews, so we can be a little bit more in-depth, I want to say, but I am going to try to make these ones quicker because, Ultimate Enemy literally took an hour. So, it's probably for the best for me to just, do it like a normal episode review this time. And like I said, we have a good bit of normal episodes to do before we go to the next parter, 2-parter, which, in case you're wondering, is Reality Trip, which is one of the final 3 episodes of the season. So, yeah, we're going through it pretty quick. This is actually a pretty short season because I'm doing 2-parters as just one big review. So, we're going to be done of this series by the 16th. So, I don't really know what else to say. Aside from welcome back, here's my review of Secret Weapons. Decent episode, and I hope you enjoy. As Danny, Tucker, and Sam leave the movie theater, Dan worries that his sister might be nearby until his friends give him the all clear. Dan has been trying to avoid his sister, who, upon becoming a member of Team Phantom, has constantly been overprotective of him ever since she found out his secret. Unfortunately for him, Jazz immediately arrives and shoves a Fenton thermos onto him, crying out he should always have one in case of an emergency. A calm Danny reassures her to relax, saying he has everything generally well handled. Skulker then appears, but he's not on Danny's tail for once, which is strange. Feeling rejected, Danny flies after him and catches him stealing bloodstream nanobots inside Axion Labs. Danny and Skulker quickly battle with the latter trying to escape. Jazz comes over to help, trying to send a Fenton thermos his way, but misses and hits Danny instead. At school the next day, Jazz comes over to the trio to showcase the research she has done on Skulker, or as she calls him now, Ghost X, as well as other her attempts at witty banter. I can't English today, I'm sorry, it's very early in the morning. She walks off while Danny mumbles on how to deal with her, settling with the idea of not interfering much of her actions, so she'll realize how incompetent she is in her ghost hunting skills. Predictably, her battles with the Lunch Lady Ghost, Klemper, and Box Ghost all fail, each one ending with her somehow accidentally hurting Danny and sucking him up in the thermos again instead of the actual ghost. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that part's pretty funny. However, it does not do anything to lower her spirit. As Jazz drives Danny home after their ghost hunting patrol, he again criticizes her. Back in the Fenton household, the Fenton parents had made an ecto converter for their RV, which turns a ghost's natural energy into a fuel source. Jazz then subtly makes light of Danny's secret, much to his annoyance, and playfully slaps him in the back, causing him to accidentally touch the ecto converter and make the RV move, taking their parents with it. Oops. Later that night, Skulker sneaks into Fenton Works while Danny is asleep, searching for the ecto converter. Danny, however, manages to find him and battle him when he tries to break into the lab. Once again, Jazz joins in the fight and accidentally reveals the location of the ecto converter on the RV, and after giving Danny a good thrashing, he takes it off the RV, meaning that Jazz has once again caused Danny another loss in a fight. By school the next day, Jazz finds the 3 hiding in a broom closet in school to avoid her despite Danny vehemently denying it, where she managed to hack into his files where he keeps a profile on all the ghosts, including Vlad. So in other words, that's how she found out that Vlad is a ghost. And that he's evil. As Sam and Tucker crawl out of the broom closet, Danny, angry at her for barging into his ghost hunting life, bluntly tells her she's terrible at it, causing her to get teary and run off in front of a mob of students. Yeah, you guys all should have seen where this is coming. We've seen this kind of trope before in other episodes. At home, Danny is told by his parents that Jazz is missing. Indeed, she ends up in Vlad's manor, where she begs the millionaire to let her stay in his home, to which he obliges only because she said about Jack being an idiot in the middle of the conversation. Jazz calls her parents and lets them know she wishes to stay with Vlad for a while, which Maddie isn't too keen on, but is later convinced. Danny, in the meantime, leaves for the ghost zone, assuming she's out there fighting Skulker to prove him wrong, while the parents play checkers now that they're in an empty house. Even though they make it set up to look like they were, yeah, I'm not gonna say because I don't want to get demonetized, but let's just say it's a really good adult joke. Danny catches Skulker stealing Technus's electric staff. After a short battle, Skulker shocks Danny with the staff and then traps him inside a transparent containment cube, pretty much freezing him in place. Jazz, in the meantime, sees Vlad going into his secret lab, so she quickly jumps onto his computer to find info on the nanobots in the ecto-converter, which is what she intended to do pretty much the whole time. Vlad, however, returns from his lab, and upon him inspecting Jazz suspiciously, she grabs a random book, Vlad's college yearbook, and pretends to read it. She later sneaks into the lab where she finds the stolen items as well as the Fenton ectoskeleton Vlad stole earlier in the series. She's quickly caught by Vlad but lies her way out and convinces Vlad to let her off the hook. Or at least so it seems. Skulker then immediately enters afterwards, presenting the electric staff and Danny, still in the containment cube, to Vlad. Realizing that Jazz knows Danny's secret, and Danny knows she knows, Vlad decides to test Jazz's loyalty. On Vlad's backyard football field, Jazz is put into the improved ectoskeleton suit, altered so that it won't drain her life like the previous one did. She must battle Danny for Vlad's loyalty, something she doesn't want to do until Danny insults her. Danny tries to get her to listen to him, but she refuses, annoying him even further. The two then try to escape until they run into a shield that works on both humans and ghosts, blocking their way out. Danny suggests they pretend to battle each other, but she senselessly beats him with seemingly no remorse. The first punch she made was for being humiliated in front of the entire school, which, yeah, Danny deserved that one, and even he admits that he deserved it. And then she continues to run and punch him at the same time again and again. Danny, obviously angry, manages to outdo Jazz and shouts at her, telling her to listen to him for once in her life, something she was doing before by making the fight look convincing. Now in on the plan, Danny and Jazz continue to fake fight until Danny pretends to be gravely injured. Vlad then comes over to accept Jazz, but he ends up getting punched by her instead. Tricked by the two, Vlad turns ghost, but at that point the siblings have already left, leaving the ectoskeleton suit set to self-destruct right next to him. The fake fight's the highlight of the episode. I don't have a picture of it, unfortunately, but it's hilarious. As Jazz drives Danny home, she states she'll continue helping him from the background by covering for him up front, like she did before Danny even knew that she knew his secret. And Danny gratefully dubs her a Team Phantom reservist. Meanwhile, back in the Fenton household, Maddie cries in triumph for beating Jack in checkers. Yeah, I mean, this episode is nothing great, and it is that tired cliche of, someone trying to help the main character only for it not to help, and then it ends up turning to a boiling point where that character blows up in the character's face. Yeah, we've seen this trope before, but I do like the little twist that they do throw on it with Jazz seemingly having already planned for all of this and making Danny angry on purpose to give her an excuse to infiltrate Vlad's mansion and find out who he truly is. However, my problem with this episode is, one, the title card's a bit of a lie, because it makes it look like Jazz is going to be mind-controlled or something by Vlad into fighting Danny, which is not at all what happens. And they spend so much time on Jazz and Vlad in this episode that it does get a little bit repetitive. But that's really my only two big complaints. Outside of that, this is actually a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it. It took a little bit for it to actually get going, but it was pretty good. Alright, next up is trivia and series continuity. Technus' lightning rod was previously seen in Attack of the Killer garage sale in The Fright Before Christmas. About 12 minutes, 10 seconds into the episode, when Jazz is outside Vlad's front door weeping that 1, she's run away from home, 2, her father is an idiot, and 3, her brother hates her, the ensuing dialogue between her and Vlad is reminiscent of that between Vlad and Maddie in Maternal Instinct. Here, Vlad asks, wait, what was that? And Jazz repeats points 1 and 3, skipping over point 2 until Vlad says no in the middle. In Maternal Instinct, Maddie says, whoa, what was that? And Vlad repeats his first and third points and skips over his second point until Maddie says no in the middle. Nice callback. It's hinted in bitter reunions that Vlad and Skulker are actually friends. Or at least allies of some sort. Danny's password for his computer is Paulina Fenton. This is the last episode to be premiered and produced in 2005. And a running gag of this episode is every time Jazz tries to catch a ghost in the Fenton thermos, she catches Danny instead. That part is just way too funny. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about Secret Weapons. It's a pretty good episode. It's not anything groundbreaking, and it definitely feels like a bit of a filler episode coming off the ending of Ultimate Enemy, but it's a nice, simple, but very funny and enjoyable episode. Final verdict for this one is going to be a 7 out of 10. I thought at first I was going to give it a 6, but the more I think about it, I did really enjoy it, and it did make me laugh, so I will definitely give it higher marks for that. It's a 7 out of 10. It's a pretty good episode. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Flirting with Disaster. Until then, thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. And until the next time, I'm going go!